How's it going?
It's going so well. I'm so excited to talk about the movie finally.
I mean, I guess that's always a way with animation, isn't it? Because it's always such a
Yeah.
long process. So, like, how does it feel to kind of have it actually finished and almost out in the world?
It's unparalleled the feeling because really when I start the movie, it's about 4 years ago when I work with my producer Gina Shea. We start coming up with ideas, and then it's 3 years of production. So it feels amazing to share the film.
Especially like you're going to get to actually release this one in cinemas, which obviously wasn't possible for the last one. So that's got to be just such a great feeling as well. Like,
Yeah, that's an extra thrill because we create these films to have a theater experience, to experience it with the community, to laugh together, to dance together. I mean, that's the point of these.
for those who haven't seen it yet and are presumably looking forward to it, can you just tell me a little bit about what the story's going to be?
Yes, so in this third chapter of the Troll series, we learn that Branch, the Justin Timberlake troll, that he has four brothers we didn't know about. And when he was a baby, they used to all be in a band together called Brozone. Let's just say it, it's a boy band when he's a baby. So what happens is one of the brothers comes back. This is 20 years later and says, hey, one of the other brothers was kidnapped by these nefarious kind of pop diva characters. And so they've got to get the band back together and save their brother Floyd. And also Poppy. Poppy kind of drives the whole thing. She's like, Branch, let's get back together. Let's get the band back together. Let's put on a concert. Let's save your brother.
And as you mentioned, the pop diva villains, and they are just so much fun. Like it must have been a real kind of hoot to get to like coming up with and figuring out what they were going to be, what the whole deal was going to be, because they do just give that impression they were just like loads of fun to create, I guess.
Yeah, always. The villain is a challenge, but it's so much fun. And here we have two villains, their brother and sister. And it really allowed us to kind of play in this kind of 90s pop diva feel, but we blended 1930s style kind of animation. It's like just elegance and opulence, and they chew up the scenery. I love these characters so much.
And you mentioned the animation there particularly, and just, it's kind of the case across all these movies, where there is just always so much going on visually with these movies, and
Yeah.
it must just be just a really great creative thing to be able to go in and just see what you can come up with for like how the next one's going to look, what you're going to do with a given scene.
Yeah, that's the favorite part of mine, I think, and the crew too. Keep everybody invested. It's always a challenge for us, especially the third time around. Like, how can we push this? Where can we go? Where do we want to go? Where should it go? And with the trolls, it's almost like there's infinite choices. So it's such a fun playground to be in.
You mentioned this being the third go around. Obviously, you've been with this series for a little while now. Was there sort of anything specific that you were kind of hoping to do or hoping to achieve when you came back to the third one?
Yeah, we really, we've in the last one, we dealt kind of with this kind of global cultural themes. And in this one, we really wanted to dive into kind of the interior of the characters, get really personal emotionally. Plus, we knew we could push the psychedelia even further. The audience really liked that. So that was a super fun thing for me to do, since I've been so influenced by psychedelia and animation and the history of animation. So we were able to push places we haven't been before. And I think that's the most fun.
And it's not talking about the characters there, just Justin Timberlake and Kendrick, they've obviously been with you the whole way through this. Like they must know those characters inside and out at this point. Like
Yeah, it's huge. They're major collaborators. We've all been on it for 10 years now. It's about a decade of Trolls, and we bring them on very early. We read the script with them. Justin's our executive music producer, so he gets in and starts talking about where do the originals go? What kind of cover songs should we do? And when I'm in the booth with them recording, we improvise a lot. We talk about the character, so it really helps that it's this huge collaboration with them.
I guess kind of taking it back to the cinema side of it, or like what are you hoping that like the audiences take away from this one?
I think above all else, it's this sense of joyfulness. I would say this is a big ask, but you come out of the theater feeling better than you did going in. I always joke that it's scientifically engineered to make you feel better. But there's so much color, so much laughter, and so much the human experience. Even though the trolls and the thing is wild and weird and crazy and fun, it really comes down to kind of the emotional human experience, about family and about connectivity, and that we don't have to be perfect. That's not what life's about.